Okay, welcome back to One More Tune. It has been a couple of weeks since we recorded. I've been away celebrating my lovely fiance's 30th birthday in Mallorca for a little bit.
Nice.
But it's also the massive peak of the height of summer with weddings and private parties.
Yep.
We are just off the back of the August bank holiday weekend.
Yep.
And I thought that was going to be the end of the mental peak of gigging for summer. And then I realised that actually, no, this weekend I have also a mad week of gigging.
Yep.
But yeah, I feel so tired. I've been wearing my Whoop.
Yeah.
It's probably a funny jumping off point. I've been wearing my Whoop to track my fitness.
That's
because
right,
I've been trying to be a bit more aware about it, because in the summer it's hard to do all of the things and also look after yourself.
Yep.
But it kind of freaked me out a bit on Friday because I was doing a full day wedding, 2:45 in the afternoon. It's meant to be 2:45 in the evening, and they'd said to me about potentially doing another set right at the end if the atmosphere was right, if it needed it, if it was dipping or whatever.
Yeah.
And I ended up playing 6 full hours or whatever, just in a stupid amount of extra stuff.
Yep.
It was class, but my Whoop was telling me that my strain level was through the roof.
Yeah.
My recovery was at about 15%.
Yeah.
My sleep debt's on like 2.5 hours or something.
Yeah.
And I burnt 4,500 calories just on Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, I still do have the Whoop because obviously you pay the 12 months, don't you? So I still have my Whoop, and I had to stop
because it was freaking you out too much.
Because I was like, literally, but it's weird how if the Whoop says that you're strained and you're tired, you feel more strained and tired because
Is it
you're like
psychosomatic?
Maybe, yeah. That was my main sort of worry about it. Like, and every time I was doing gigs, it was saying like, you
high stress,
high exercise, you've been doing this, and I was like, is that actually accurate? Like, have I actually been?
I think it is.
That?
I think it is. It's just our jobs, like, you don't think it. I think it's such a kind of forgotten part about our jobs, is that how physical it really is.
Because I'm trying to like gain weight.
Imagine this being the problem. I actually hear this from you and Brackley and a few other people that they're struggling to put weight on.
Oh yeah, because my metabolism is ridiculous.
Yeah,
I eat an insane amount of calories a day. Literally.
Or just chicken wings.
Mate,
mostly just chicken. Are you obsessed at the minute?
I am at the minute.
Is that after we went to Buddy's?
Oh, mate, I still can't get it quite like theirs, but it's getting there.
We need to go back to Bunny Jackson's. Bunny Jackson's in Manchester, if you don't know, the best wings in the game.
Unbelievable.
Except for the fact that the best one they ever did, they've stopped doing.
What one?
It was called, it's like a soy and garlic one.
Okay.
But it was insane.
Right.
And then we went back recently. They'd done it every time for the last few times we've gone. But I think they then said to us that it was like a special one that they've taken off the menu or something. Bit of a side note, but go to Bunny Jackson's in Manchester.
100%. But yeah, so I already struggle with that anyway. And I definitely notice it's obviously due to the heat. It's due to the amount of work we do and stuff. But I notice every summer my weight drops, right? And then in the winter, when it's less, I gain it a bit more again. But it's out of my control. Like, I've literally spoke to nutritionists, I've spoke to lots of people, and it's just a case of, for me to do it, it would take that much effort of prepping,
conscious,
massive meals and that. And the problem is, we just, especially in the summer, don't have time to do that either, because
once you got through a big weekend, the Monday, Tuesday is almost just like becoming a human again for a couple of days, like having to sort of get your brain and your body back on planet Earth, because this bank holiday weekend as well. Normal weekends, if you finish on a Sunday, it depends where you're playing. If you're playing a 3-6-1 on a Sunday, it's still going to be mental. But if you're doing a more chilled gig on a Sunday, you can often start to round yourself back off with a bit more chilled Sunday. But being bank holiday weekend, I finished my Sunday at a wedding at 11 o'clock or whatever, dripping in sweat.
It's insane, isn't it? Like I have 2 types of gigs now in my head. It's 50-50 categorized. So it's either I don't even bother anymore to set up the loop station because I know it's just energy, right?
That's why I barely loop anything. I barely solo anything.
But then the other end of the gigs, which is all this weekend for me, all this weekend is like hotels and stuff. And it's like, and then sometimes I don't even set the stomp up. Because it's like, it's the complete opposite. And those gigs are like, they're still gigs, they're great, but it's a very different vibe. It's very loads of reverb, chorus on the guitar. It's like...
This is where I've tried before and never got comfortable using a harmonizer pedal for those exact gigs, because you want that nice sort of wash, the bed 100%. Of music, right? Some gigs I've got that are like that.
It's pure musicality kind of background, just,
You're on.
Yeah, exactly. And I love them gigs just as much as I love the gigs where everyone's up dancing and stuff. I don't usually post about those gigs on my socials because... simple fact that it looks better on the socials of always the videos at the gigs where everyone's jumping up and down dancing.
And if someone is going to come and look at you for potential booking you for a wedding or a party and they see you playing reverby, chilled stuff, it can give them the wrong impression.
100%.
It's like why that Eric's gig for you for a bit made sense, but if it was ever quiet, it's like if people came and saw if I had punched armies earlier on in the day and it wasn't like bouncing or anything, I'd actually sometimes be like, maybe that's not the one for you to come and see 100%. Me perform at. I'm not telling people not to come and watch me, because if they want to do whatever, but it's not necessarily a good representation of you at peak performance. 100%. And if you want to see that, just look at the videos on Instagram.
Exactly.
We've both got enough videos now that you can scroll through 10, 15, 20 parties of people just 100%. Like limbs everywhere. And that's the best way you can figure out if you want to book us.
Yeah, I've actually got a meeting tomorrow in Leith, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Or it might be Bold Street Coffee. Anyway, I've got a meeting with these two fellows, and they...
These two fellows, are they from the 1920s, are they? These two chaps.
Yeah, and basically, like, they are two guys, and they do music and stuff, and got a good duo going. They just do sort of the bar stuff, and they've been messaging me a lot, like, really sort of asking me, like, can you just maybe have a conversation with us, to sit down,
point us in the right direction,
like
what
forgetting
to think about.
The private parties, the weddings, like how to make our socials look a bit more like
inviting
yours,
and
appealing and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, so I've got to sit down with them tomorrow. And I just said, like, look, we'll have a chat and stuff. But it's that's insane. It's insane that I'm at a point where people are asking me. Oh,
well, that's what
I can't get used to this. Everything in my life has just gone nuts the past 6 months, and it just doesn't even feel.
And it's
real
all because
anymore.
we started spending so much time together, isn't it? Connor, come on.
No, it is, because I'll tell you why. Have you seen all these like motivational things like that you see? Like they put these little quotes in Instagram with these like motivational.
Or people get them tattooed on their arms.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know. And speaking of which, Sean is going to get a call soon because this A needs sorting out.
Is it?
It's even when it went on, it just didn't take properly, so it needs.
Yeah, I've got a couple of little tails on mine that need sorting.
But yeah, no. So like, you see these quotes all the time, and it's like, when you start surrounding yourself with people, whatever. Like,
yeah,
what I mean?
Your
like
friends, you can tell how successful people are based on their friends, whatever.
And like, and friends who are doing well and in the same game, they motivate you. It bounces off each other. Yeah. Whereas if, you know what I mean? Like, and I have massively noticed the main thing that I did this year is I've changed the people that I am around. Like, in terms of work, like you and stuff like that, but also, like, in terms of just day-to-day life. And it has made the biggest difference, like, in terms of motivating me, opening up new opportunities, that kind of thing. Yeah. I definitely think that's 100% true, that thing of, like, who you surround yourself with.
Surround yourself with people who are looking upwards.
Exactly, yeah. I think that, like, the likes of these guys is, like, they play the bars, right? And they were saying, like, they've done the bars for a couple of years. They like them, but they want to move to the private sort of thing. And I was like, okay, And then you look, and then everybody that they sort of associate with, everyone that they surround themselves with,
are all the same people.
Are in the bars. And it's like, you know...
Expect change and still do the same thing.
You know, so that's what I'm going to maybe speak to them about. But like I say, I mean...
It's hard because they'll be their actual mates and stuff.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Like, you know...
But I think it's, again, if that thing, if some of their other mates see them starting to move on to do bigger and better things or whatever, 100%. Then that might bring them with them. Speaking to the point, it's probably a first. We've got quite a few things we need to mention and talk about today.
Yeah.
Talking about the perspective of giving advice to people.
Because that's where I was going with this. That's where I was going with this. Like, everything's been crazy, blah, 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 all this crap that I was probably going to talk about for half an hour. And then I was going to say, like, it's weird to be at the point now where I feel we are at a stage where people are coming to us and asking us, how, you know, a bit of advice on doing the private parties, nailing them, getting more, etc., filling your diary with weddings. So we have decided to obviously work together with Joe Reeve, good friend of yours that I have recently
met. I went to uni with, very good 100%. Saxophonist, plays alongside DJs and stuff, absolutely kills it.
He's also coming on the podcast very soon.
He is, and I went to do his live industry night in Manchester, Q&A panel sort of thing, which is where we went to Bunny Jackson's beforehand. But off the back of that, Joe's asked us for his Liverpool date, which is Thursday the 25th of September. I'm getting good at my dates.
You are.
I can pull them out of my head now.
Yeah.
Thursday 25th of September.
It's definitely not a teleprompter behind the camera, but yeah.
At Beer Keller in Liverpool, we are going to be doing a live podcast. So
we are. It's exciting, man. It's exciting. I mean, probably not for you because you know what's coming with me. But
I'm going to try and keep the show on the road while Connor tries to derail it.
No.
I think that's
well, maybe a bit. Like, I mean, I talk a lot. And I also talk even more when there's an audience and things. So it is going to be very difficult for me to stay on topic. But I bring the comedy relief. I bring the humour.
Everyone laughs at Connor.
Yeah,
not with Connor.
Exactly. But the fact is they're laughing, and that's what matters, you know.
At least they're laughing at something.
Yeah, exactly. It's better than them booing, isn't it?
Yeah, so we're still sort of ironing the format out a little bit and stuff. But it's going to be a lot of, like, I think we're basically going to tell little stories from our time, kind of getting to the point where we're at and how each one of those can kind of give you a bit of an idea on one important thing that you need to think about. But then it's going to be 100%. Q&A, we're going to play a few games and stuff.
Well, if, you know, a lot of people do message, you know, I'm sure it's the same for you, and like they ask for help, advice, whatever. Like, genuinely, if you come to the live podcast, like we will be taking questions and answering them, and, you know, sort of trying to help anybody that is genuinely, like, wanting to
think about what
advice.
They're doing in a different way.
100%.
One of the things that when we were starting talking about doing One More Tune and what One More Tune was, one of the other original names for it was going to be Musicians SOS.
100%.
So
I still think it's a good segment name. I think
it's a segment name. I think maybe on this we could get people to write in questions we would do for the live podcast, 100%. And we can answer them on the podcast.
I still think.
We'll keep putting out little questions on our Instagram stories and stuff, asking for musicians' advice questions.
100%.
But we'll probably do the same thing and field some for the live one as well, just in case people in the room aren't necessarily super comfortable to ask their questions and stuff.
I was going to talk to you about this, and there's no time because it's hilarious to talk about it better than on the podcast, right? Here's what I'm thinking. I'm not going to do this whole smoke machine thing again, don't worry. But I'm thinking I've got an idea for the live podcast.
Lasers.
No. No, but you should say that. I've discovered where I need to play my gig, and I'll be happy for the rest of my life. The Las Vegas Sphere thing. Oh mate, that is insane.
I mean, we are not exactly being very contemporaneous by talking about it now, because it's like been there for a few years, a couple of years already.
But it is every insane. Time I see more and more clips, it just blows my mind.
Yeah.
That's what I think in my head when I'm playing on Claremont or something. That's where I imagine I am, you know.
Just a whole circular wall of your own face repeated 1,000 times behind you.
100%, yeah. Just like a giant Where's Wally, you know.
With
just
an arrow pointing to you singing. Or just the video of you falling off the stool in McCauley's playing over and over.
That would look amazing. And that
every time you hit your stomp pedal, it restarts the video of you just banging on the floor.
Maybe.
Anyway.
Anyway. No, but my idea for the podcast is, I'm thinking, like, we want it to be motivational, right?
Yeah, motivational, fun, live, interactive.
I'm thinking about going into motivational speaking, you know. That's what I'm thinking. Like, you know, like, you can do it, you know, or something. I don't know. You know. But,
okay, it needs a bit of work.
Yeah. But, like, no, but in the sense of, like, I'm thinking, like, this is what I'm thinking. Tell me if this is a bad idea. But I was thinking, the beer keller in the room that we're doing it, insane room.
There is a jumping off point after this that we need to continue with how good that room is and what else we might use it for.
It is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically big raised stage, you know, all this. They also have projectors, right? Mm-hmm. I have eyed this up. And I've seen on their socials that they've had people use the projectors for various things, right? Okay. I'm thinking before the live panel, we should do, because a bit of a jump back, I don't know if you've seen 2 weeks ago, I made this post and it was like all old clips of me playing and stuff.
Yeah. I thought that was actually really nice. It was I saw it and I went, this is going to be really fucking cringy. And then I watched it and I went, no, actually, that was really quite nice.
It was my most liked story thing ever. It got like maybe like 40, 50 people liking a story. And I was like, damn, I should have made that a reel. But anyway.
You still can.
No, I know.
You use your stories as testers.
Now they've already liked it, they're not going to like it again because like I've already seen it.
But if 40 people like it on your story, not everyone sees your story, more people will see your reel. Maybe. More people will like it. That's true. As a reel.
But anyway, my idea was, I was thinking as like a bit of a motivational thing and also to be like to the people who were coming of like we started, you know, doing the bars, whatever.
Yeah.
Like with broken PAs and stuff as discussed in OBK. But I'm thinking of doing some kind of montage video intro of showing.
I really like it as an idea. I think it needs to be tasteful because it could look a little bit like we're up our own arse.
Yeah.
It could be like my first goal for Everton and then me lifting the World Cup, but it's just me going from playing in one bar to playing in a wedding.
No, but I think we have done a lot collectively from where we are.
If I could talk to myself even like 2 or 3 years ago and be like, you're going to be doing European weddings and stuff. I think
there's certain times that you get the liberty to be a bit like, look at what I've done. And I think that if we're doing a live podcast, that's about motivating people to get to where we're doing and way beyond, because we're not there yet, but we're on our way. I think that I think that there's a certain thing where if I watched like a video of somebody doing what I'm doing, who's even higher up than us or whatever, who's playing all around the world doing these weddings, if I seen a video like that, it would motivate me. Like, keep going, you can do it. Yeah. You know, I posted because
really basically, like, if you're doing like a sort of montage of you doing things at certain points and the quality of whatever you're doing, or the quality of the venue, or the quality of the reaction from the crowd, or whatever it is improving through the video.
Well, I've got videos where, this is where it's not cocky, like, I've got videos that I was going to put in it in the beginning of me playing to like 3 people.
Yeah.
And it's like, people need
some of the
to
videos
know
that I used to post that I thought were like, it was insane that I got that reaction from people.
Yeah.
Like I actually saw one the other day,
right.
And when I was using my GoPro to film some gigs to try and get some footage. And so I was in, it was called the Black Pearl.
Yeah, in Bolton.
Yeah, that went away a few years ago.
Yeah. Like on top of that big balcony thing. They used to have like the stage set up in that Black Pearl, like on top of the bar. It was insane.
No, what was I thinking of? What was the one that was related to Peaky Blinders? Yeah. What's one related to that TV show, Peaky Blinders? Yeah. They had a really imaginative name for the
Peaky
bar.
Blinders bar. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was that one. Yeah, Peaky Blinders. But that's what I mean. There has been some cool bars in the Baltic that have come and gone. But I posted a video being like, "This is such a sick reaction," and it's just like 2 people dancing in a big empty room.
In that Murphy's place that you played there like 5 years ago. Or
yeah,
something.
that's another tangent we will pick up on. I'll try and remember to flesh that story out a little bit, but 100%. We're still going on what we were talking about with the video montage.
Yeah.
So I think it's.
I think what it's a good idea. It gives credibility to our word as well.
People can also put themselves in it because they will see what level they're at reflected 100%. In some part of it. Yeah. And then the brain will go, I'm here. Yeah. If I keep doing these things, 100%. I can get to there.
Because sometimes, like, I even watch a TED talk or something, and then I'm just like, who's this person? Like, why should I listen to them? Like, why do they know what they're talking about?
It validates people.
You know what I mean? And normally, when you're in the academic world, people have credibility because they have like 20,000 letters after the name. We don't need that. Our credibility is, this is where we started doing these like bars and stuff. We've worked our, backsides off to get to where we are now. And that's why, our word hopefully has a bit of credibility. Yeah.
It's like when I was doing the first one for Joe Reeve, doing the Q&A panel, and you introduce yourself, and I say, I'm a singer for weddings and parties, also run some events and stuff. Yep. When you hear that, you have no idea what it is, what actual level it's at. Because I was like trying to not come across in a particularly braggadocial way.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's hard, isn't it?
But you also kind of need to give people enough to know that you're someone who has some kind of authority to talk about what you're talking about.
That balance, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Because I think the whole thing with this is that I sometimes, when we were talking about doing the podcast, was a bit like, oh, people are going to be like, fucking hell, these lads are just like bigging themselves up massively here. There's understanding that we aren't by any stretch any finished article or something. It's just 100%. We know we're now at a point where we've got enough experience behind us to be able to talk about what we're doing and why it's working.
Yeah.
And a lot of this podcast the whole time has been what we've done that didn't work.
Oh yeah.
Probably too much of the early episodes.
Yeah.
So that's the Thursday, 25th of September. We're going to get all the details out properly. It is on sale now. Mm-hmm. The links will be in our bios and stuff.
100%.
But yeah, come down if you're interested. We've had loads of people asking us questions about how to do what we're doing, how to think about things. Even if it's stuff like set list advice or whatever 100%. It is. Get down to that one. The next thing in the long list of things being how sick the beer cellar room is, and how my brain went, okay, well, we're definitely putting a gig on there.
So I played there, younger me played there. And
do you have a video of it you could put on the screen?
Yeah, I do, actually.
There you go.
And the thing is, though, right, is like, the room didn't look like that when I played in there. And then when we went up, and it was like, it used to have like a big fence in front of the stage and everything, like the whole way
the Blues
along.
Brothers when they're throwing the beer bottles at them for not playing country and western.
It genuinely did used to have like a big fence across, and it was like, and it put a barrier between you and the crowd and stuff, and I didn't like it. But then when we went up there, like, was it last week or the week before or whatever, we went up, and I was like, wow, this has changed, and this would be just unbelievable to put an event on,
We've been talking about it for a while, about how we can translate what works with the Claremont acoustics to do something that is a slightly more town version of that sort of thing, right? So the Claremont stuff really works well because the Wirral has such a tight-knit network of people. Yep. Claremont has a big following themselves. We've built that event up over the last 5 years. The one on Saturday was our 22nd summer event, not including any Christmas, not including any fundraisers, anything like that. So we've worked on that. That has become its own thing.
I'm glad that you've mentioned this, because the second half of this podcast, we're going to talk about your lovely big event that you put on.
Strawberry Fields.
That you've told me.
I feel like that could be a whole
like 5 times. I'm going to tell you about this, and then we always go off on tangents and never get to it. So we are going to talk about that on the second half, because I need to know.
That could also be my case study for the live podcast.
Okay.
I could defo do 40 minutes on. I could do days. I could literally teach a class on what happened there and like.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, what we're thinking, we are going to try and find a date in October, probably maybe November, to do a first gig that is similar to a Claremont gig, but in town at Beer Keller. We've been talking about trying to find a space that feels like it has the same sort of vibe as Claremont does, but doesn't have... it isn't basically that we have to only do it in the summer.
And I don't think it's going to be a carbon copy of Claremont.
No, it's a evolution version.
I think like we could even potentially get like a DJ on at the end or something, you know.
Yeah, I think actually DJ through the night to introduce that.
Yeah. Like
stuff.
make it like, I think so. Like
it's
a
more towny, clubby version of the same thing,
so.
right?
I think so.
Because Claremont's great because everyone can kind of spill out on the garden. It's basically almost like mini camping, mini festival sort of thing. With Beer Keller, they've got all the beer hall tables. It's like a German beer hall, but they've also got food on. They've got pizzas 100%. On and stuff. So it's got some similarities. And then when we walked into that room, it's about 220 capacity. Just looked perfect. Like 100%. I can see the gig. I could envisage the gig happening. 100%. And that was the first time when we've been talking about any of these rooms that I felt like this could be it.
My only main thing about it, which I've been thinking about, is like it's in city centre, right? And the thing is like, there's already, if we run it on Saturday night, right, there's already a lot of town that's free to get in that have similar style acts. So that's trying to work out how we can give
I don't think we're pitching this at people that don't know about stuff already, though. I'm pitching this at my Claremont lot who want an event like that.
I think the way that I'm going to build this is, I don't play bars anymore, right? Really.
Yeah, this is your town gig.
This is like, if you want to come and see me because you're trying to book me for a wedding next year or something.
It's another bonus,
They come and buy a ticket, come and watch me, let me do what I do. I know that the atmosphere is going to be great. I know it's going to go off. So it's going, you know, that to me...
It's a very, very good representation.
It's almost like a public showcase night for my current set.
Yeah, but that's what Claremont's like.
Yeah.
Well, for everyone who plays there, I would love to know the number of bookings total that everyone has got off the back of a Claremont thing.
Yeah.
You know how much people come up and go, are you free? Can we take a card?
I get so many, like, oh, seen you with Claremont, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But the problem is, and bit of a tip to anyone who's wanting to book somebody, is like, don't try and book someone like a month in advance. Like, people say, oh, I've seen you at Claremont, like, we've got this party on, like, in 3 weeks, and it's like I'm literally working on 2026, filling up pretty quick, and now I've literally got quite a few in for 27, and it's like, that seems to be the biggest problem. When people see me, they go, wow, we really want to book you. Sorry, you know what I mean? I have to be like, sorry, like, I'm literally booked up so much in advance, you know?
Well, it's I don't know, it does tend to be the first people to get in there, get the early bird catches the worm or whatever when you're booking people.
100%.
Because we have a bit of a hierarchy thing where you try and fill your calendar up with pub gigs and stuff, and then you take private and wedding work.
Well, I'm not doing that for next year. I'm
going to have to think about how I'm taking my pub bookings next year.
I'm not doing it.
Because I was literally thinking today, I need to message a few of my venues and say, when are you doing your dates for next year?
I'm going to take the pub gigs or the public gigs on Sundays, because it's less likely that I'm going to have a private. I'm not saying it's impossible, obviously. You got weddings on Sundays. But
I might do 3-month blocks. So I'd do January, February, March, and September, October, November.
Okay.
And book them like I was doing.
So like seasonal?
Yeah. Okay. So the shoulders. And then when I know it's wedding season, I'm not going to commit to doing it. Because I know that there'll be...
don't do the summer. Like, just don't. Like, just say, I did the same thing with
but I basically haven't this year. It's just turned out that I haven't. And the one thing that's changed is that I feel like I'm just been in the bars off, and that's not relationship
not good,
I
is
want.
it? Yeah, and I feel
then
the
you
same.
look kind of unreliable, but it's not
really
that.
like, I work with a couple of agents, not many, but a couple of close friends who do the agencies that I work with, and I have literally been really honest and said, look, if you don't want to book me for things, don't worry, I'm just being honest. But like, I'm so busy with the private work and whatever, I don't want to keep having to cancel on you and things. but I would rather let you know if you're going to give me sort of, if you're going to give me some dates or whatever, and a private comes in, like I have to take the private.
It's often 5 times the money.
Yeah, and they've all said we completely get it.
Yeah,
and that's cool.
And actually, we're at a point where you'd hope that your relationships with all these venues and your reputation of being a really good performer means that you can kind of say on your own terms how you want it to work. It speaks volumes
that when I do that, they message me back and they go,
"That's fine."
Oh, like, we're gutted that we can't have you because, like, it's always busy and stuff. And it's like, well, at least like, that it speaks volumes that you are, like, You
just don't want people to feel like you're just binning them off, because it isn't like that. It's just a business decision.
100%.
Lovely place to end our first section. We'll come back. We have some other stuff we still need to talk about.
Yeah.
Like our other 2 Claremont Christmas events.
Wow.
We'll get to that. See you in a minute.
Hey guys, hope everyone's enjoying the episode so far. Please remember to go and follow us online, TikTok, Instagram, all those places. Like and comment on this. You can book us for any private parties, events, weddings, whatever it is. Drop us a message on our socials. Come see us live. We're playing every weekend around the Northwest. Let's get back into the episode.
All right, welcome back. Section 2.
Hello.
We are going to get on to, I don't know what to call it, Strawberry Fields Gate? Something like that.
I'm excited for this.
But should we do what we would normally do at the end of something, so we have a free reign to go into the depths of that?
Let's do it.
What we would normally do is talk about what's coming up. You've got relatively chilled stuff this weekend.
Amazing. Friday I'm playing a hotel, 1 gig, hotel. Saturday I'm playing a hotel, 1 gig in a hotel. And Sunday, I'm playing a hotel.
If you can't see a pattern emerging.
But because the thing is, when I do public gigs now, hotels are the go-to. Like, they are the greatest gigs.
Yeah, but surely they're all... Sorry, I got a hair in my mouth. Sorry, they're all... when have you ever done one that's gone and had like a big atmosphere?
I don't want it to, that's the point.
Yeah, but that's what the public gigs are good for, is that you don't have to try and win a crowd over you, you're just in a crowd.
Turn my reverb up to 11 and do a Danny Jones and just be like, walking in Memphis, you know what I mean, or something like that. I don't know, but I that's what, like, I just love it, because I love the chilled stuff just as much as I love the party stuff. I just, like I say, I never really get that much chance to show it anymore, because most of the things people book me for is to, raise the roof kind of party,
Gotta raise the roof, Farrell, I love it.
Like, 100%, bring the lasers. They want the lasers as well. You know what I mean?
Connor Laser Farrell.
Yeah, 100%. Like, listen, by next year, I want people to mistake my wedding gigs for Creamfields, and then I'll be happy,
You're going to end up getting 120 glow-in-the-dark wristbands and doing your own Coldplay Sky Full of Stars.
I actually priced them up. So, like, those Coldplay wristbands, right? There's a Chinese company that makes them, right? I don't know if Coldplay used this company, but they make the same wristbands. And so the way these work, I know this is a tangent, but this is insane, right? I just want to inform the people of how genius this technology is. So the way
this is another recurring section of what has Connor blown all his money on that he should be saving for his taxes this week.
Well, it's a tax expense, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's also an expense. That's not how tax expenses work. You only get a proportion of it.
Yeah, but the portion's good enough for me, Like,
and I get more lasers.
Yeah, exactly. So the thing is, I
want to get like a little meme of you just carrying loads of fucking lasers.
I could just see it next year.
Connor on his way to work.
I could just see it next year. Welcome back to One More Tune with Harry, because Connor's in jail for tax. Like,
and blinding pilots in the sky with his lasers.
Yeah, Connor couldn't afford to pay his tax bill, but he's got a Wembley rig.
You can't really do a GoFundMe for the taxes that you haven't set aside.
Well, Well, now you mention it.
Connor's becoming a charity case now.
Yeah, no, anyway, the Coldplay, right? So I priced this up, right, and I looked at it, and it wasn't that dear. I mean, it was, but it wasn't as dear as what you'd think, right? And the way that they work amazingly is you have the band, right? And the band doesn't light up, right? It's just static, it's off, right? And then the way it's activated is that they have these, at the Coldplay concert, they have these giant cannons, right? Like basically like guns, right? And basically they shoot out infrared signals, right?
Mad.
So basically,
it's like a scanner going through the crowd, lighting them up secondarily.
Literally, when the infrared hits the band, it tells it what colour to glow. So basically, if they want to draw an image,
they're lit up by satellite.
Yeah. So if they want to draw, like, which they do at Coldplay, because I've been to one of the shows, if they want to draw a heart, for example, they shoot infrared signals in the shape of a heart that hits the bracelets and lights them up. And I'm just like, I need this. You know, I need this.
I didn't know that's how they did that. That's actually
insane.
incredible.
Like, and since I've seen that, I've priced it up for gigs
on Temu,
because I was just like, imagine you're playing a wedding and you got 200 people strong and they've got these things on and you can fire off all these things to light up, whatever. Mate, it is insane.
Coming to a local town hall near you.
People say, if you weren't a musician, Connor, what would you be?
AV.
A lighting tech, mate.
AV,
100%.
always. Yeah.
It's the best job. I enjoy doing the lighting rigs and stuff more than I enjoy like the playing of the music. And I love playing the music, but I just, there's something about tech and lights. And
really like get off on getting
100%, mate.
Set up.
Like for me, that's the show. What you're putting on is a show, and that's a crucial part, And you get somebody was telling me this is a wedding the other week. He went, you get some musicians for weddings, and they just half-arse. They show up with like one just basic like line array and no lights and nothing, and they just and they do the job and go home. Yeah. And he was complimenting me, saying like,
just for taking it seriously.
Yeah, he was like, your rig just looks insane.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where with weddings, there's some sort of mental process you go through where you obviously the bride and groom are going to know you because they booked you. Chances are maybe some other people were with them where they saw you when they decided that they were going to book you. Mm-hmm. The rest of the room don't know who you are, don't give a fuck unless you give them a reason to give a fuck. 100%. And that is winning them over. Yep. And you can do some of that early if you, like you say, have a setup where people go, oh shit, they clearly know what they're doing.
We're always saying that we're kind of like DJs, right? We basically are DJs with guitars,
it's just,
right?
And instead of decks, it's a guitar.
If you look at a DJ set, right? You look at like Creamfields, whatever, right? They're playing.
The visuals is
the
almost
visuals
half,
is 50%.
Probably half.
They're just playing songs you can play in your car driving to Creamfields.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Obviously, the sound system is unbelievable.
Yeah, and they are doing mixing. Some of them are, some of them aren't. Some of them aren't.
And some of them definitely aren't. I've definitely seen some behind the scenes footage of people with pre-made sets.
Yeah,
and
of course.
But most of them are like, are mixing live, and it's incredible, right? I do DJing as well as part of my wedding packages. I understand how complicated it is.
Connor OMTx Farrell. How many nicknames can we give you?
No, I'm not always on auto mix. Sometimes I use the beat match thing, right? Sometimes. But like I'm getting to know little crivets of the songs now where they transition really well and stuff. So I'm building up
little
the
vocal
set.
Dropouts
It's getting there now, and I'm using the stem split. It's like put the vocal stems over the top of.
There's a boat out taking off outside.
Okay. Over the top of like the tracks. So my point is, anyway, I know how hard DJing is. I'm not underrating it in any way. But what I'm saying is
they help themselves by getting the rig.
Well, yeah,
sorted.
Mate. Like I look at like Tomorrowland, and you look at that stage, and I'm just like
the one that burnt down.
Can you imagine? Well, yeah, but like obviously that was the main stage, but they got other ones. But like. Can you imagine? Like
normally, every year that Tomorrowland stage is like the pinnacle of live stage.
The pinnacle of AV. It's
like
it's literally, and the fact that was it a day's notice they fixed the whole.
They've got big LED panels and kept the burnt remains behind, which looked cool and was probably more iconic than any of the other ones they've had.
Yeah, exactly. But my point is,
how do we make this year's stage even madder? Let's burn it down.
100%. 100%. Yeah. But like I say, for me, the AV stuff is like, you know, when I went to see Sam Fender the other month, the main takeaway that I had from Sam Fender was like, I loved the show. The music was incredible, but there was a certain section. There's two sections. First of all, when he was playing, I think, Tyrants or something, he had flamethrowers shooting up in St. James's. Unbelievable. Like, real flames firing up, and that was great. And then the main one was, like, the end of the night, hypersonic missiles shot off all these fireworks all around St. James. And to me, that was when I got the goosebumps of, like, this is a spectacle.
Kerry from Claremont, if at the end of a Claremont we're allowed to use fireworks or not.
No, I'm thinking for Claremont, right? Because fireworks is like, it's noisy, there's neighbours, right? What we need is flamethrower. No, what we need is, have you seen at weddings they have those cold spark machines? They shoot the sparks up. Have you seen them?
Yeah, they sort of spit them out.
Yeah. So like when people are walking down the aisle, like not the aisle, when they've finished getting married and they're coming out and they have these.
You mean down the aisle?
Thing. Yeah, but not up the aisle, down the aisle. You know what I mean? Whatever way is the right way. When they've been married and then they leave down the aisle, they shoot these sparks up in the air, and you can get one of them for £400. 2 of them either side, right, of Claremont. When, you know, you're going into, like, you know...
I'm loving angels
and through it... You know what I mean? When you're playing the solo, the sparks are flying through the air. Do you know what I mean?
I put a sparkler on the top of my guitar.
Yeah. I mean, that might be a hazard. I don't think...
No, that's sick.
But that is sick. Like,
what are the spark? Not
like a flare?
No, the ones that are kind of like more than normal sparklers. They're like the tubes, and they like... It's like a decent bit of fire that comes out of it.
That would be sick if you didn't.
Okay, next time we do it. I
can see Swindo with 3rd-degree burns.
Next time he gets 3rd-degree burns in the shade anyway. So no offense, Swindo, love you lots, mate. But yeah, okay. So I'm leading into that solo. You run up, get with some duct tape, tape it around the head of my guitar, light it.
Okay.
I walk out into the crowd. Yeah. My guitar is a fucking flamethrower.
See,
while I'm going,
I love that. Now, my love for all this visual stuff is rubbing off on you, and you're finally coming round to wanting to do these insane spectacles. You know,
yeah, mine are kind of more performance-based, though, like getting on the table to play or getting the crowd to break in half and stuff.
But just this is the thing. When we do the Beer Keller show, dry ice. Because that stage...
Roadies will talk to this about...
No, that stage...
Chimes, like, Freddie, chimes.
It'll pour off the front.
Are we allowed to?
Like, yeah, why not? Just turn a fire alarm off. No one listens to that anyway. The thing is... Like,
and then I can knee slide with my guitar that's got the flare on the top.
If we accidentally burned the venue down...
Would you say it's Tomorrowland 2.0?
Right. We'd be on the front page of the papers. Like... You know, 2 guys from this podcast burned down Liverpool City Centre. We'd be more famous than ever, and we'd be like, "Come to the next venue."
You never know what's going to happen.
Start the fire with us. Well, maybe not.
And then the first song we play is, "We didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world."
Exactly. Yeah, you know, our party, our One More Tune parties are that good. We literally burn the place down.
Yeah.
You know?
So this half was meant to be talking about Strawberry Fields.
Well,
you've now got 15 minutes.
20 minutes.
We will there is no doubt that we're going to touch back up on this subject at some point.
Yeah, but I want to just front this by saying I've been wanting to talk about this for a long time.
So this might go over.
I keep pestering Harry.
I said it was going to be a full episode, though. Now we only have a quarter of an hour.
We just want the main points, but
okay.
I keep pestering Harry, saying, Harry, the Claremonts are so good. Why don't you make it massive and have a big outdoor stage and do camping and stuff? And every time Harry says, no, Connor, because I tried to do this once before and it was so stressful and it was a nightmare. It was great and everyone loved it, but it was a nightmare. And I'm like, well, why? And he will not tell me why.
Because I wanted to save it for this.
So now, again, I ask you, Why? What happened? Talk me through the...
So, off the back of running a series of successful events with Claremont and a few different variations of things, we did like a fundraiser for the Ukraine war and stuff. I said to Andy, one of the guys who runs Claremont, that I had a dream to do my own festival at some point. And he basically went, okay, do it then.
Great encouragement.
And we kind of got a deal together for me to do 2 days over the August Bank Holiday 2023, I think. Okay. So 2 years, maybe. It must be more. It feels like more than 2 years ago.
Okay.
I've got a trauma response that's just put it into the back of my mind somewhere. Okay. But I wanted to do it a little bit differently than just the Claremont Acoustics, because one of the things with the Claremont Acoustic is it's solely covers.
Yeah.
Solely covers. I wanted it to be, because that was a similar time when we were starting Hollow Body.
Okay. Yeah.
So I wanted it to be a similar thing to sort of tie in involving local musicians in original bands that were at a decent level. Yep. Claremont had done something previously. They'd done Farm Feast years ago. Okay. That was quite a big festival style event. So they had previous, and they'd had some good musicians on. So it kind of made sense to try and do that again. We booked, I think it was maybe like 6 or 7 acts both days. Yep. Started off with covers stuff in the afternoon, nice chilled afternoon vibes to get the atmosphere going a bit, and then put some bands on that were, on their way up in the Liverpool scene and stuff, like Hush Tones, Natalie McCool.
It's sounding good so far. It's sounding...
And so I decided that I wanted to try and organise this all myself.
First mistake. Yeah.
So 2-day full rig, sorting all the food, all the tickets, all the security, all the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I mean, obviously I got contacts through Claremont that helped me out massively.
Yep.
And there was some things that without Claremont I couldn't have done, but there was also things that fell apart, right? So the day before, the guy who was meant to come and do this big grill thing that was half of the food offering of the whole event, just ghosted me. Just completely ghosted me. So a few days before I was texting him saying, anything, we all good for the weekend, Nothing. Ghosted. Called him 6 times a day, every day that whole week, trying to get through to him. Tried every possible avenue I could to get through to this guy.
Okay, I'm starting to feel the stress.
And so my main food offering for what was 500 people on both days.
Yeah.
Gone. And we had, God love him, Mike from Pierdina Pronto. Okay. So this is before I started working with Dobros. In his little van that did Pierdina's, which is Spanish, Italian wraps. So it's
nice.
If you had imagine different types of pizzas, so a pepperoni, a margarita, whatever, Four Seasons, whatever. But they do them in wraps and they press them kind of quesadillas, but they're Italian quesadillas almost. Okay. And they had a few arancini balls and stuff. They were meant to be essentially supplementary food for this event, these 2 days of event, and they were. I was being clear with numbers for them, so they understood how much stuff they needed to make. This is literally just one column of the whole thing. They ended up having to basically supply the food for the whole thing, and Mike had to go back on the night. They'd sold out of everything they'd had for the whole weekend in the first few hours of the first day.
I mean, that's great.
Not
for you, but
not for everyone going, where's the food? We can't order any food.
Okay.
So Mike told me he had to go back and spend the whole of the Saturday night into the Sunday morning making more dough, prepping stuff just to be able to cope with the second day. We had Black Lodge Brewery doing all the booze. Okay. So we had Rob come down in their trailer bar, and to be honest with you, the drink side of things, there was a complication there. Of course there was.
Right.
I'm not outing anyone particularly. It's just these are the things that happened and how they happened, right? Yeah. So Black Lodge absolutely nailed it. They were class. They made a good wedge that weekend because they were the main bar for that. Yeah. But I was going to have I wanted to have a little sort of gin bar thing going on as well, because Black Lodge is obviously very much craft ale and that.
Okay.
And it's not necessarily the same offering for everyone. Not everyone. Some people are going to want a glass of Prosecco. Some people are going to want whatever.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be able to basically have 2 versions of everything. Okay. One that was like,
independent.
Whatever it is. So like, if you have craft ale, you've got to have something that's like a gin and tonic bar. Those 2 things balance each other out. 100%. We were going to have the big grill place, and then I wanted something that was like, slightly more interesting Italian style stuff.
Okay. Yep.
Those to try and balance each other out, but give a bit of option for something for everyone. Good, and Murphy's, where I've just been playing, we're going to come and do a gin bar, but they wouldn't do just the gin bar. They also wanted to do all soft drinks and other offerings and stuff. Okay. And Black Lodge were also doing that.
Right.
So between the 2 of them, I got stuck in the middle of neither of them wanting the other person to do the soft drinks or the other options of drinks.
Right, okay.
So it ended up with Murphy's not coming.
Right.
So then I was down to 1 food vendor, 1 bar.
Okay.
When in my head, 3 or 4 days before, it was this big smoked meat guy, this lovely gin bar. They'd set up a few tables and chairs out.
Yep.
Black Lodge doing everything else. Piadina Pronto doing their thing.
Okay.
And then I'm down to my smaller food offering and just Black Lodge on the bar.
Okay.
So there's one aspect of it, and the one person who probably made the most significant difference to the potential offerings that we were giving out to everyone who was coming was my sister. Okay. Because she knew about this, and the morning of the first day, she was like 6 months pregnant with twins. Went to Costco and bought 500 quid's worth of stuff and set up like a tuck shop.
Nice.
So she was working for 2 days selling this stuff at this tuck shop just to help me. So,
I mean, all these problems are sounding very catering related.
Yeah, but it's the organisation of the event, right?
Yeah. But how did
I'll
the
peek. I'll let it
side
peek.
go?
I'll let it peek. Okay.
Okay.
I was giving you the foundation to show you that in the
it
background
sounds
there's
stressful.
already loads.
100%.
And it took me 6 months to plan this thing.
Yeah.
And the week of it all falls apart.
Yeah. Okay.
So the music side went well, but actually putting people on doing covers that people sing along to and then putting on bands they might not know. The flow of the day is hard. Yeah. It should have just been the best covers all night, 100%. Really.
Yeah.
And finish off with like a live band or something. It was really cool because I was able to book quite a few bands that I really liked, like genuinely really liked, and it was cool that they came and played my event.
That is cool.
So when we were running into the event, looking at the funding and the budget, okay, guess how much money I had to put down before the event?
Okay, but what's this for? So this is for like the stage hire.
How much it cost me to run it before I'd made any money, before we'd taken any money?
Good couple of grand, easy.
11 grand.
11 grand. Okay.
11 grand. Not a good couple of grand.
Okay.
11 grand.
Yeah.
Just to get a big marquee, the staging, the lighting. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what, in the end, did it...
We made money.
You made money?
We made money.
Okay, well, I mean... So hold on, right?
It wasn't...
Let me get this straight.
No, but it wasn't worth the years that it took off my life. We haven't even got to any of the mental stuff yet.
Okay.
We haven't even got there.
Right. Because in my mind, what I'm seeing right now is like, you did your first major event, like big event. It made money, which most people's first event does not make money, right? It was profitable despite a lot of things going wrong. I mean, what was the attendance? Did it sell out?
No. Okay. Well, there wasn't actually an upper limit of.
Okay.
But I think we probably wanted.
Was it well attended though?
It's about 900 people over 2 days.
Okay, so I mean that's again for a first time event. This is sounding pretty good to me.
Yeah, I know, but I was trying to run this all on my own.
Well, that's your own fault.
No, but that was my experience. That's what the life that I went through. One of the things was we had 4 Portaloos. It was the weekend of Creamfields and all the other festivals, right? We had 4 Portaloos.
Okay.
And they didn't...
Just 4?
Yeah, they didn't empty them. That's all they could get us. They didn't empty them on the Saturday night, so Sunday morning they were already full. My mum was trying to be nice and kept filling them up, restocking the loo roll. But that meant that people were using loads of fucking loo roll, which meant that the at 6 or 7 o'clock on the Sunday,
you ran out.
They were full, and we were going to have to send people home because you can't serve food and drink legally without being able to offer people toilets. Yeah. You can't legally do it. So it was getting towards the climax of the second day, and we were going to have to cut it and send people home because the toilets were full of shite. To which point I then have to say the person who probably made the most difference in relation to that aspect is my beautiful fiancée, who I will love for the rest of my life, mostly because I know she's capable of being generous in an incredible volume that manifested itself on this day in her getting marigolds and going into the toilets and manually clearing loads of stuff out so that it could carry on.
Yeah, okay, I'm starting to understand a bit. I mean...
These are all the sort of peak highlight moments, but if I actually think and write it all down in a sort of like memoir... There will be so many more other things that I forgot that went wrong.
100%.
One of the musicians cancels on the day. I have to shift all the lineup around. But that would be Big Fry, but in perspective, it's all Small Fry.
Here's what I'm thinking. If you didn't do it all on your own, and you had a bit of a team, like you're focusing on the food and drink, you're focusing on the stage and the musicians, you're focusing on the toilets and hygiene or whatever.
It's again, though... It was that hard and that long term of a process and that much of financial outlay that those things don't change. It still costs the same to run it. It's still...
Yeah, but if you had a group of people that were willing to go and split the initial upfront cost as well.
Okay. If I can find those people, then yeah, funding and stuff, but...
Yeah.
Maybe that's different.
If we did a bigger thing together... Like I would,
I'd still lose if I said to my family that I'm doing it again. They'd be like, "What the
No, maybe not that big." But I still think that there is a sweet spot, like a little bit bigger than the current Claremont. Not like a full-on, like, But
thing is, in my head, there's something with the Claremont that if it's not broke, don't fix it. And that's
the Claremont.
That's why I'm trying to think of the beer keller things, because that's not fixing it. That's just doing another version somewhere else.
I'm not talking about Claremont. Claremont is Claremont, and it shouldn't ever change. It's great. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that there is a world I envision where maybe, I mean, I reckon... It probably hit 300 on Saturday.
Close enough.
Okay, so like I reckon there's a world where through time we could work up to a city centre event or something, maybe looking at 500 cap. I think that's realistic.
I think that's realistic.
I think that's what we should aim for.
Well, to be honest with you, with Claremont, it sells out early and people are asking for tickets for weeks on the run-up.
Yeah.
I've said to Barney, it would be amazing to know what the actual top interest cap is there. Like what, if it was an infinite number of tickets, what number we would get to.
I mean, what would you say? What would
I think you get 500 there.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I definitely think
so. The final crowning glory moment that felt like we'd called in backup from like the Air Force or something was we were trying to fix the toilet situation because that would have killed the night. That would have been the end of the night, right?
Yeah, hats off to Alex for that.
I love you so much.
Yeah.
You are. Love my life.
There's not many people that do that. To just be like, I'm done, I'm leaving you.
So many other people helped me massively. Dan helped with Jenny and then all the foods at the tuck shop. My mum and dad and everything were there helping out, and my sisters and stuff. It's incredible the amount of people who kind of just went,
I met your sister on Saturday. I said
she was probably a bit leathered on Saturday.
I said, hi. I was stood on the door. I said, hi, have you got a ticket? And she just looked at me and went, I'm Harry's sister. I was like, okay, bye.
She went, fuck off, I'm Harry's sister.
Yeah.
To be fair, she had that attitude with me as well at one point. Jenny texted me while I was playing, asking for requests. She'd text me.
It's great, though.
What? But how?
Well, because you always have your phone in front of you.
No, it's my tablet.
Oh, well, see, I use my phone, so
that would have been funny if it was my phone, because you could have been like, oh, you're shy while I'm playing.
Yeah, the energy's dip and step it up. Yeah.
More upbeat. Those two favourite words. The last moment was, God love him, Andy from Claremont as well.
Yeah.
He basically saved our sticks, because I think we'd got the toilets back to a point where they would last a bit longer, but again, not long enough to see the end of the night out. And Andy goes with his forklift truck and finds another Portaloo in the farm somewhere and brings it over. And I had to go with him to sort of, because it's pitch black at this point. Yeah. I had to go with him to like guide this forklift truck that's got these lights with the forklift lifted up and a fucking bog on it over the flyover by the motorway, because it wasn't where the normal Claremont stuff is. It was in another one of the fields. So I had to get it from one part of the farm to the other part of the farm. And it was genuinely like planes coming in and dropping bombs on. So it felt like that moment where you called in air support or something, because Andy's driving this forklift truck with a Portaloo on it into my event just to save it, so someone could have a
definitely highlights how much effort goes into these events that people don't see.
6 months of planning, a week of it, half of it falls apart. While it's running, things fall apart.
100%.
And we made some money, but that's kind of like almost not the point.
But we deal with people who deal with this on a day-to-day basis, in the sense of, in a way, a wedding is kind of an event, right? You're putting an event on, aren't you? Like, you have
100%.
You have suppliers come in, whatever, people cancel on you, whatever. And it's stressful enough when you see what bride and grooms go through with weddings and stuff. And that's just for an event you're putting on for your family and friends.
Where people kind of have to go with a, it's all good, we're having a fun time attitude, right?
100%, yeah. And a lot of the times,
when you're selling to the public, they don't give a fuck. You have to win them over.
Yeah, 100%. But I speak to bride and grooms all the time at the wedding, and I go, oh, like, how's everything going? And they're like, it's all felt a bit, but you know what? We've got a drink in our hand. Let's just get on with it, honestly. But I suppose
to be continued with the Claremont stuff.
I definitely think that is insane, and I think that it's definitely on the live podcast. It is something you should lean into.
But it's so much learning experience. I said to, obviously, my family all kind of like had continual long debriefs for weeks, because that's like a massive thing that happened that everyone helped me out to sort and stuff. But we all said that was basically like me doing the best university degree on event management I could ever do.
Oh, 100%.
And I learned the most I will ever learn.
Baptism by fire.
Just doing that.
Yeah. 100%.
Like, if you want to know how to run a gig and what can happen and what you need to, the way you can cope.
I keep saying to people who are musicians that if you want to learn to be a good musician, go and do a gig. And when you literally
open
sink
mics
like a brick, you learn very quickly how to.
I don't want that to happen again. I will put my pride to the side 100%. And not have to just play Radiohead covers. 100%. I will play the songs that people want to hear, because it gives me a better chance of succeeding.
Exactly, and it's the best way to do anything. You know what I mean?
I love Radiohead, by the way. I wish I could play. So I was playing a wedding, and someone was like, I was in my break, and I was coming out of the toilet, and someone, can you play any Radiohead or anything like Creep? And obviously amazing, but I'd just done the first upbeat set of the evening. I was going into my main upbeat set of the evening. And what he was asking me to do, Creep as one of the songs at this wedding to get, Well,
did you see that? This is going to sound like a weird tangent, but like, you'll get it in a minute. But did you see that thing in the news about the school shooting thing?
What happened?
Like in America, like
the other day, there was another one.
The other day there was another school shooting, and I was playing a gig, and I think it was the night of it or something like that. And in my set, obviously I play Pumped Up Kicks.
Oh no!
And I didn't think because it's
Got
obviously
a six-shooter
my
gun.
songs flow into each other, and that song is literally about a school shooter. And this one guy was like, came up to me and he was like, "Oh,
interesting choice of
have you
music.
not seen the news today?" And I was like, "Oh, like no." I was like, because I didn't know what he was going on about because I didn't register.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, like and told me what happened." And I was like, "Oh man," I was like, "Sorry, like." To be honest,
possibly know. I'm not that
I was
kind
like,
of
I just
person.
love the song. To be honest, I said that, like it's like when I
you
play.
almost sing it and don't think about.
Sometimes, like you just love the song. It's like when you play "Sit Down," I'm not always playing it to sing Mo Salah, and every time I play "Bad Moon Rise," and now at the moment everyone's doing the Diogo Jota thing, and it's like, it is great for that, and it's great that music.
It's like Zombie
that.
Cranberries is obviously about the Troubles, but it's not like.
But
you don't think that every time you play it.
I just love playing the song. I love the song "Pumped Up Kicks." Like it's an awesome song, and and all them others. It's not necessarily everything's always with some political intent.
That's the thing with the Irish bars and stuff, though, isn't it? As well.
You've been Irish and up your set, haven't you? So I've seen you playing whatever it was that you were playing. I can't remember.
Tell Me Mars, I do Tell Me Mar, Country Roads together. They're nice.
Oh, right, okay.
Really nice little double. Because everyone gets that moment. And if there's had it on Friday night, if there's one Irish girl who knows how to do the dancing.
Oh, yeah. So good, isn't it?
And people fucking love it. Like
100%. Yeah, I've been asked to do quite a lot of Irish at one of the weddings that I'm playing, I think, next year. And she was like... I don't know whether she booked me because my name is somewhat Irish, and she was like, "Oh, can you do like an Irish set?" And I was like,
I sure can.
Yeah, sure, not a problem. I'll just sing my normal set with an Irish accent,
and a little green hat." Okay, we're gonna love you and leave you this week. A million tangents. Get your tickets for the 25th of September. Get your tickets also when we record this for our Claremont acoustic Christmas nights that are happening on the 12th and 13th of December, and there is more things to be announced, like that Beer Keller gig. We're going to get that sorted.
100%. Exciting
So many things. See you soon.
So many things.